I always saw myself as the perfectionist and the one who had it all together. With growth, did I start to realize that was not the case? Hi, I'm Vivian. Most people call me Viv. I'm walking 50,000 miles as the Compassion Pilgrim. Why? Because I want to help you to shift patterns in your life with compassion. Change is the only thing that is guaranteed in life. The nature of life is change. Yet it's something we often resist. We struggle with change. Why do we cling to old identities, old things that no longer serve us, even when we know they're not good for us? In this video, I want to share my journey with embracing transformation and the lessons I've learned about navigating change and personal growth. If you've ever felt stuck, scared of change, or unsure of how you move forward in life, stick with me to the end of this video. Let's start with something personal. Growing up, I always saw myself as the perfectionist and the one who had it all together. I had held on to those things. They'd become my identity. They'd all became my identity. But as I grew older, I realized that holding on to those labels was suffocating me as a person. I was so tied to this version of myself that I resisted anything that threatened that version of myself. For example, if I tried something new and failed, or if things didn't go my way, or if I met people who challenged me, who I was or who I thought I was, I wasn't just failing at the task. I felt like I was failing as a person. I realized that growth demands that we let go of who we think we are to become who we're meant to be. And that process is not always comfortable. Here's where things get a little deeper. Have you ever noticed how your mind keeps pulling you back to old habits, even when you're desperate to change? That's just habit. It's what your mind knows. Think of it like this. Your brain is a computer, and your past experiences are the code. If you've spent years believing something, for example, that you're not good enough, your brain starts running that program on auto. It's not your fault. It's just how the mind works. The tricky part of this is our past selves can feel like an addiction. We're drawn to what's familiar to us, even when it's painful. Sometimes we just like suffering. Even though we want joy, we're always drawn to suffering. It's like, back in the day, our ancestors, they had to survive in really tough conditions. And I think to an extent, we've carried that to us now. I believe that we are the safest generation that's ever lived. But why is it that to some extent, we're the unhappiest generation that's ever lived? We don't need to try to survive in the wilds anymore. But what we need to do is to keep changing and adapting. Breaking free requires awareness and intention. It's like rewiring that old code, line by line, and replacing it with something new, something empowering, something that makes your soul sing. Do you know what I wish I'd learned earlier? That you can't hate yourself into becoming a better version of yourself. Self-love and acceptance are the foundation of any lasting transformation. I don't know who told us that in order to motivate ourselves to keep moving forward, we need to put ourselves down and be critical. That's not how it works. For a long time, I believed that being hard on myself would push me to improve. But all it did was make me feel stuck and defeated and not good about myself. And when I started practicing self-compassion, everything shifted. And I learned this in my mid-20s. Imagine if I had learned this when I was so young. The progress. Instead of saying change is a punishment or something that wasn't good for me or something that held me back, I began to see it as an opportunity to grow into someone I really, truly admired and loved. The thing people misunderstand is acceptance doesn't mean settling. It means acknowledging where you are right now with kindness, so you have the strength to move forward. Transformation is nothing new. It's not a new concept. It's a journey that's been spoken about and echoed for years in rich wisdom. For example, the hero's journey. teaches us that true growth often begins with a call to adventure, a moment that pushes us outside of our comfort zone. And the struggle, the fall, the rise, it's all part of the process. And that's where we struggle. And that's when that voice, that code in our heads starts to F with us. Scientific research also backs this up. For example, studies in positive psychology show that practices like gratitude, mindfulness, just breath work, breathing in and out intentionally every day, and setting intentions can enhance our ability to embrace change and shift our mindset and perspective. Sometimes all we need is just a little bit of perspective. I have the 4 Ps that I work with in my life, and these 4 Ps have took me a long way. These 4 Ps can be applied in any area of your life, whether that'll be change, whether that'll be making a decision, whether you just want to take a step back. The first P is pause. Sometimes you just need to pause. Just take a step. Relax. Stop. Don't do anything. Pause. This could mean for a week, a month, or 2 years. The next one is gaining perspective. Once you've paused, you gain perspective and can see more clearer, and you're able to tune out the noise. The next one is plan. Once you've paused, you've gained perspective, you can now start planning. What do I want? Where am I going? How do I move forward? How is this change beneficial for me? And how will letting go allow me to keep moving forward? And now, once you've paused, you've gained perspective, and you've planned, you can pivot. You can actually pivot with so much more ease because you've taken the previous steps before. And those steps, sometimes they can take you weeks, months, years, but you can always keep going in a cycle. And once you've gained all those 3 before, the pivot just means you're able to just have a little shift, and then you keep moving forward, and then change can happen. So how do you embrace change and keep moving forward? Just become aware and acknowledge that, you know what, it is okay to feel scared, but don't let the fear paralyze you. Step into the fear and start identifying beliefs and habits that hold you back. Keep taking steps forward little by little to the vision that you have of your new version of yourself and the life that you want. How does that vision of you think, feel, act? What are they like? But remember, big changes can feel overwhelming. By taking little small steps, one habit at a time, can make you be more consistent, and then change will happen. And the other thing, reframe failure. Failure is giving us signals every single day. Failure is not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. Fail more. The more you fail, the better, because that way you can view it as feedback, and it allows you to keep shifting, gaining perspective, and pivoting. Every setback is a step forward to growth. And then self-compassion. Remember, just be kind to yourself. I can't keep preaching about this enough. Keep practicing self-compassion, being kind to yourself, and seek support around people around you, people who are supportive, people who inspire you, people who uplift you, and people who are understanding of your journey. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is transformation is about letting go of everything that isn't truly you. When I let go of the need to have it all figured out or be perfect, I discovered my creativity. I stopped trying to fit into a mold. I found my voice. Your journey will look different from mine, but the principles are universal. The brain's ability to rewire itself proves that change is possible for you at any time in your life. Doesn't matter how old you are. Your brain is more adaptable than you think, and every small step towards growth helps you to feel that inner peace and bring more happiness and joy into your life. As Rumi once said, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you're used to is better than the one that's yet to come? So if you're resisting change, you're resisting life itself. Step into the unknown. It's okay. It's taking you to a higher version of yourself and your life. You deserve to be happy and be at peace, and you're worthy exactly as you are. If you've made it this far, thank you for spending time with me and walking with me. And if you know someone who needs a little encouragement, feel free to share this video with them. Until next time, keep growing and keep an open mind. Keep joining me on this journey, and let's master this inner game together.